I owe everything to George Bailey. Help him, dear Father.
Joseph, Jesus, Mary, please help my friend, Mr. Bailey.
Help my son George tonight.
He never thinks about himself, God. That's why he's in trouble.
George is a good guy. Give him a break. God.
I love him, dear Lord. Watch over him tonight.
Please, God, something's the matter with Daddy. Please bring Daddy back.
Hello, Josephina. Trouble?
Looks like we'll have to send someone down. A lot of people are asking for help for a man named George Bailey.
George Bailey. Yes, tonight's his crucial night. You're right. We'll have to send someone down immediately. Whose turn is it?
That's why I came to see you, sir. It's the clockmaker's turn again.
Oh, Clarissa. She hasn't gotten her wings yet, has she? We've passed her up right along.
Because you know, sir, he's got the IQ of a rabbit.
Yes, but she's got the faith of a child. Simple. Joseph, send for Clarissa.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Clarissa. A man down on earth needs our help.
Splendid. Is he sick?
No, worse. He's discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
Oh dear, his life. Then I've only got an hour to dress. What are they wearing now?
You will spend that hour getting acquainted with George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, might I perhaps win my wings? I've been waiting for over 200 years now, sir, and people are beginning to talk.
What's that book you've got there?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Clarissa, you do a good job with George Bailey, and you'll get your wings.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Poor George. Sit down.
Sit down?
If you're going to help a man, you want to know something about him, don't you?
Well, naturally, of course.
Well, keep your eyes open. See the town?
Where? I don't see a thing.
Oh, I forgot. You haven't got your wings yet. Now look, I'll help you out. Concentrate. Begin to see something?
Why, yes. This is amazing.
If you ever get your wings, you see all by yourself.
Oh, wonderful.
Yippee!
Hey, who's that?
That's your problem, George Bailey.
A boy?
That's him, when he was 12, back in 1919. Something happens here you'll have to remember later on.
And here comes my scaredy cat, my kid brother, Harry Bailey. I'm not scared. Come on, Harry. Harry. Help! Help! I'm coming, Harry!
George saved his brother's life that day, but he caught a bad cold which infected his left ear, cost him his hearing in that ear. It was weeks before he could return to his after-school job at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower, George Bailey.
You're late.
Yes, sir. Hello, George. Made up your mind yet? I'll take chocolate. With coconuts? I don't like coconuts. You don't like coconuts? Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from? Looky here. From Tahiti, Fiji Islands, the Coral Sea. A new magazine. I never saw it before. Of course you never. Only explorers can get it. I've been nominated for membership in the National Geographic Society. Is this the ear you can't hear on, George Bailey? I'll love you till the day I die. We regret to inform you that your son, Robert, died very suddenly this morning in influenza. Stop. Everything possible was done for his comfort. Stop. We await instructions from you, Edward Millington, President Hamilton College.
Take these capsules over to Mrs. Blaine's. She's waiting for them.
Yes, sir. They have the diphtheria there, haven't they, sir? Is it a charge, sir?
Yes, charge.
Mr. Gower, I think you put something wrong in these.
Get going.
Yes, sir. I'll ask Dad. He'll know what to do.
Whoa, vest there, Captain Cook. Where are you headed?
Got to see Pop, Uncle Willie.
Some other time, George.
It's important.
There's a squall in there. That's shaping up into a storm.
I'm not crying, Mr. Potter.
Well, you're begging. And that's a whole lot worse.
All I'm asking is 30 days more.
Pop!
Just a minute, son. Just 30 short days. I'll dig up that $5,000 somehow.
Shove me up. Have you put any real pressure on those people of yours to pay those mortgages?
Times are bad, Mr. Potter. A lot of these people are out of work.
Then foreclose!
I can't do that. These people have children.
Pop!
They're not my children.
But they're somebody's children.
Are you running a business or a charity ward? Not with my money.
Mr. Potter, what makes you such a hard-skulled character? You have no family, no children. You can't begin to spend all that money you've got.
So I suppose I should give it to miserable failures like you and the idiot brother of yours to spend it for me?
He's not a failure. You can't say that about my father.
George.
You're not. You're the biggest man in the town.
Now run along.
Bigger than him. Bigger than everybody.
Where's Mrs. Blaine's box of capsules?
But,
Did you hear what I said?
yes, sir,
What kind of tricks are you playing anyway? Why didn't you deliver them right away? Don't you know that boy's very sick?
You're hurting my sore ear.
You lazy loafer.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules. I know you're unhappy. You got the telegram, and you're upset. You put something bad in those capsules. It wasn't your fault, Mr. Gower. Just look and see what you did. Look at the bottle you took the powder from. It's poison, I tell you. It's poison. I know you feel bad. And don't hurt my sore ear again.
No. Oh, George. Thank you, George.
Mr. Gower, I won't ever tell a soul. Hope to die, I won't.
What did you stop it for?
I want you to take a good look at that face.
Who is it?
George Bailey.
Oh, you mean the kid that had his ear slapped back by the druggist?
That's the kid.
It's a good face. I like it. I like George Bailey. Tell me, did he ever tell anyone about the pills?
Not a soul.
Did he ever marry the girl? He ever go exploring?
Well, wait and see.
Look at you.
I don't care. It's George's tux. Annie, I'm in love with you. There's moon out tonight.
If you lay a hand on me, I'll hit you with this broom.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. My last meal at the Old Bailey boarding house.
Oh, my lands, my blood pressure.
Hope you have a good trip, George. Uncle Billy and I are going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, Pop. What's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with Potter today.
Oh.
I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us a little bit.
I wonder what's eating that old money. Grubbing buzzard anyway.
Oh, he's a sick man. Frustrated and sick. Sick in his mind, sick in his soul, if he has one. Hates everybody that has anything that he can't have. Hates us mostly, I guess.
Gangway. So long, Pop.
So long, son.
You coming later, George?
What do you mean? And be bored to death?
Couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls.
No gin tonight, son.
Aw, Pop, just a little.
No, son, not one drop.
Bows and girls and music. Why do you need gin?
Pop, did I act like that when I graduated?
Pretty much. You know, George, wish we could send Harry to college with you. Your mother and I talked it over half the night.
We have that all figured out. You see, Harry will take my job at the building and loan, work there 4 years, then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
Well, no younger than I was.
Maybe you were born older.
How's that?
I say, maybe you were born older. I suppose you've decided what you're going to do when you get out of college?
Oh, well, you know what I've always talked about. Build things, design new buildings, plan modern cities. All that stuff I was talking about.
Still after that first million before you're 30, huh?
No, I'll settle for half of that in cash.
Of course, it's just a hope. But you wouldn't consider coming back to the building and loan, would you?
Well, Andy, why don't you draw up a chair? Then you'd be more comfortable and you could hear everything that's going on.
I would if I thought I'd hear anything worth listening to.
You would, huh?
I know, it's too soon to talk about it.
Oh, now, Pop, I couldn't. I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in a shabby little office. Oh, I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't mean that remark. I want to do something big and something important.
You know, George, I feel that in a small way we are doing something important. Satisfying a fundamental urge. It's deep in the race for a man to want his own roof and walls and fireplace. And we're helping him get those things in our shabby little office.
I know, Dad. I wish I felt... But I've been hoarding pennies like a miser, and most of my friends have already finished college. I just feel like if I don't get away, I'd bust.
Yes, you're right, son.
You see what I mean, don't you, Pop?
This town is no place for any man unless he's willing to crawl to Potter. You've got talent, son. You get yourself an education, then get out of it.
Pop, do you want a shock? I think you're a great guy. Oh, did you hear that, Annie?
I heard it. About time one of you lunkheads said it.
I'm gonna miss old Annie, Pop. I think I'll get dressed and go over to Harry's party.
Have a good time, son.
Hiya, Marty. Well, it looks like it's old home week.
Do me a favor, will you, George?
What's that?
Well, you remember my kid sister, Mary?
Oh, yeah.
Dance with her, will you?
Oh, me? Well, I feel funny enough already with all these kids.
Aw, come on. Be a sport. Just dance with her one time, and I'll give her the thrill of her life.
Oh, go on.
Hey, sis. You remember George? This is Mary. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Well, may I have this dance?
You may, Mr. Bailey.
Hey, this is my dance.
Oh, why don't you stop annoying people?
Well, I'm sorry. Hey!
Well, hello.
Hello. You look at me as if you don't know me.
Well, I don't.
You've passed me on the street almost every day.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, that was a little girl named Mary Hatch. That wasn't you?
Well, what? It's time for that big Charleston contest. The prize? A genuine loving cup. These, not taped by the judges, will remain on the floor. Let's go.
I'm not very good at this.
Neither am I.
Okay, what can we lose?
What's the matter, Othello? Jealous? Did you know there's a swimming pool under this floor? And did you know that button behind you causes the floor to open? And did you further note that George Bailey is dancing right now over that crack? And I've got the key.
They're cheering us. We must be good. Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Hot dog, just like a choir.
Beautiful.
And I told Harry I thought I'd be bored to death. You should have seen the commotion in that locker room. I had to knock down 3 people to get this stuff we're wearing here.
Do I look as funny as you do?
You look wonderful. You know, if it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know, maybe I will say it. How old are you anyway?
18.
18? Why, it was only last year you were 17.
Too young or too old?
Oh no, just right. Your age fits you. Yes, sir, you look a little older without your clothes on. I mean, without a dress. You look older. I mean, younger. You look just... no.
Sir, my train, please.
A pox on me for a clumsy lout. Your caboose, my lady.
You may kiss my hand.
Hey, Mary.
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight?
Okay, then. I'll throw a rock at the old Granville house.
Oh no, don't. I love that old house.
No, you see, you make a wish and then try and break some glass. You gotta be a pretty good shot nowadays, too.
Oh no, George, don't. It's full of romance, that old place. I'd like to live in it.
In that place?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't live in it as a ghost. Now watch. Right on the 2nd floor there.
What do you wish, George?
Well, not just one wish. A whole hatful, Mary. I know what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and the next year and the year after that. I'm shaking the dust off this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm coming back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high. I'm going to build bridges a mile long. Are you going to throw a rock? Hey, that's pretty good. What'd you wish, Mary?
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight?
Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? What'd you wish when you threw that rock? Come on, tell me.
I told you it might not come true.
What is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it. And then what?
Well, then you could swallow it and it'll all dissolve, see? And then the moonbeams shoot out of your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. Am I talking too much?
Yes, why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
How's that?
Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Want me to kiss her, huh?
Youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, hold on. Hey, mister, come back out here and I'll show you some kissing that'll put the hair back on your head.
Ah!
Mary, okay, I give up. Where are you?
Over here in the hydrangea bushes.
But your robe is out here. Oh, here you are. Catch. Wait a minute. What am I doing? This is a very interesting situation.
Please give me my robe.
A man doesn't get in a situation like this every day.
I'd like to have my robe.
Not in Bedford Falls, anyway.
Ouch!
Gesundheit. This requires a little thought here.
George Bailey, give me my robe.
I've heard about things like this, but I've never...
Shame on you. I'm going to tell your mother on you.
Oh, my mother's way up the corner there.
I'll call the police.
They're way downtown. They'd be on my side, too.
I'm going to scream.
Maybe I could sell tickets. Let's see. No, the point is, in order to get this robe, I've got it. I'll make a deal with you, Mary.
George, come home, quick. Your father's had a stroke.
Mary, I'm sorry. I've got to go.
Come on, George, let's hurry.
Did you get a doctor?
Now we come to the real purpose of this meeting, to appoint a successor to our dear friend Peter Bailey.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to get to my real purpose.
Wait just a minute now.
Wait for what? I claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to dissolve this institution and turn its assets and liabilities over to the receiver.
George, you hear what that buzzard?
Mr. Chairman, it's too soon after Peter Bailey's death to discuss chloroforming the building and loan.
Peter Bailey died 3 months ago. I second Mr. Potter's motion.
Very well. In that case, I'll ask the 2 executive officers to withdraw. But before you go, I'm sure the whole board wishes to express its deep sorrow at the passing of Peter Bailey.
Thank you very much.
It was his faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'll say that, to the public, Peter Bailey was the building and loan.
Oh, that's fine, Potter. Coming from you, considering that you probably drove him to his grave.
Peter Bailey was not a businessman. That's what killed him. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect to him. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called, but ideals without common sense can ruin this town. Now you take this loan here to Ernie Bishop. You know, that fellow that sits around all day in his taxi? You know, I happen to know the bank turned down his loan. But he comes here and we're building him a house worth $500. Why?
Well, I handled that, Mr. Potter. You can have all the papers there. His salary, insurance, I can personally vouch for his character.
A friend of yours?
Yes, sir.
You see, if you shoot pool with some employees here, you can come and borrow money. What does that get us? A disconnected, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible ideas. Now I say...
Just a minute. Now hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor nobody else can say anything against his character, because his whole life was, why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy? He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? Why, here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said... What did you say just a minute ago? That they had to wait and save their money before they ought to think of a decent home? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that they... Do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter. That this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work, pay, and live and die in a couple of decent homes and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him, but to you, a work frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about. What you're talking about is something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about. I know. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You do what you want with this thing. Just one thing more. Though, this town needs this measly one-horse institution if only to have some place where people can come to without crawling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Sentimental hogwash! I want my motion!
Boy, oh boy, that was telling him, George, old boy. You shut his big mouth. You should have heard him.
What happened? We heard a lot of yelling.
Well, we're being voted out of business after 25 years. Easy come, easy go.
Here it is. Help wanted. Female.
You still want me to hang around, George?
Yeah, I'll be right down.
Hey, you'll miss your train. You're a week late for school already. Go on.
I wonder what's going on in there.
Oh, never mind. Don't worry about that. They're putting us out of business. So what? We can get another job. I'm only 55.
56.
Go on. Hey, look. You gave up your boat trip. Now you don't want it to miss college, too, do you?
George, they voted Potter down. They want to keep it going.
Whoopee!
But they've got one condition. Only one condition.
What's that?
That's the best part of it. They've appointed George here as executive secretary to take his father's place.
Oh, no. But Uncle Billy...
You can keep him on. That's all right. As secretary, you can hire anyone you like.
Dr. Cameron, let's get this thing straight. I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to school. This is my last chance. Uncle Billy here, he's your man.
But George, they'll vote with Potter otherwise.
I know. He didn't go.
That's right. Not only that, but he gave his school money to his brother Harry and sent him to college. Harry became a football star, made second team All-American.
Yes, but what happened to George?
George got 4 years older, waiting for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan.
Oh, there are plenty of jobs around for somebody that likes to travel. Look at this. There, Venezuela oil fields. Wanted, man with construction experience. Here's the Yukon right here. Wanted, man with engineering experience. There she blows. You know what the 3 most exciting sounds in the world are?
Breakfast is served. Lunch is served. Dinner.
No. Anchor change, plane motors, and train whistles. There's Professor now. Old Professor Phi Beta Kappa Bailey. All American.
Well, if it isn't old George Geographic Explorer Bailey. What? No huskies? No sled? Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
Nobody ever changes around here. You know that.
Oh, am I glad to see you.
Say, where's Mother?
She's at home cooking the fatted calf. Come on, let's go.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hello?
How do you do?
Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Datkin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Huh?
Well, I wired you. I had a surprise. Here she is. Meet the wife.
Well, what do you know? Wife.
Well, how do you do? Congratulations. What am I doing? Harry, why didn't you tell somebody? What's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this two-headed brother of mine?
Well, I'll tell you. It's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh, he gets a job, you get a job. Well, Harry's cup runneth over.
George, about that job. Ruth spoke out of turn. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years, and, well, I won't let you down, George. I would like to... Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the bags. I'll be right back.
Here, toss some popcorn. George. That's all Harry ever talks about.
Ruth, what's about this job?
Oh, well, my father owns a glass factory in Buffalo. He wants to get Harry started in the research business.
Is it a good job?
Oh, yes, very. Not much money, but a good future. You know, Harry's a genius at research. My father fell in love with him.
You did too? Hello, Mom.
How do you like her?
She's swell.
Looks like she can keep Harry on his toes.
Keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
Did you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Mm-hmm.
Came back 3 days ago.
Hmm.
Nice girl, Mary. Kind that will help you find the answers, George. Oh, stop that grunting. Can you give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary?
Sure, Sam Wainwright. Yeah, Sam's crazy about Mary.
Well, she's not crazy about him.
Well, how do you know? Did she discuss it with you?
No.
Well then, how do you know?
Well, I've got eyes, haven't I? Why, she lights up like a firefly whenever you're around.
Oh.
And besides, Sam Wainwright's away in New York, and you're here, in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war?
I don't know about war.
Mother, you know I can see right through you. Trying to get rid of me, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think I'll go out and find a girl and do a little passionate necking.
Oh, George!
Now, if you'll just point me in the right direction, this direction, good night, Mrs. Bailey.
What are you doing? Picketing?
What? Oh, hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
Yeah, so I noticed. Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
Oh, what?
About coming in. Your mother just phoned and said you were on your way over to pay me a visit.
My mother just called you. Well, how did she know?
Didn't you tell her?
I didn't tell anybody. I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by.
Well, are you coming in or aren't you?
Well, I'll come in for a minute, but I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here. When did you get back?
Tuesday.
Where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's all right. I thought you'd go back to New York like Sam and the rest of them.
Oh, I worked there for a couple of vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family and, oh, everything. Would you like to sit down?
All right, for a minute. I still can't understand it, though. You know I didn't tell anybody I was coming here.
Would you rather leave?
No, I don't want to be rude.
Well, then sit down. And dance by the light.
What's the matter? Oh, yeah. Well,
It was nice about your brother Harry and Ruth, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, so it's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about, huh?
No, marriage is all right for Harry and Marty and Sam and you.
Mary, who's down there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
You tell him to go right back home, and you don't leave the house either. Sam Wainwright promised to call you from New York tonight.
What's your mother needing? You know I didn't come here to...
What did you come here for?
I don't know. You tell me. You're supposed to be the one that has all the answers. You tell me.
Oh, why don't you go home?
That's where I'm going. I don't know why I came here in the first place. Good night.
Good night.
Mary, the telephone. It's Sam.
I'll get it.
Mary, he's waiting.
I forgot my hat.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
Oh, great. Gee, it's good to hear your voice again.
Oh, well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
You mean old Mossback George?
Yes, old Mossback George.
Hee-haw! Put him on!
Wait a minute, I'll call him. George!
He doesn't want to speak to George, you idiot.
He does so. He asked for him. George, Sam wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sam.
Well, George Baileyovsky. Hey, a fine pal you are. What are you trying to do, steal my girl?
What do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal your girl. Here's Mary.
No, wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
Here, you take it.
We can both hear. We're listening, Sam.
I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, you remember that night in Martini's bar when you told me you read someplace about making plastics out of soybeans?
Huh? Yeah. Soybeans, yeah.
Well, Dad snapped up the idea. He's going to build a factory outside of Rochester. How do you like that?
Rochester? Why Rochester?
Well, why not? Can you think of anything better?
Oh, I don't know. Why not right here? You remember that old tool and machinery works? You tell your father he can get that for a song. And all the labor he wants, too. Half the town was thrown out of work when they closed down.
That's so. Well, I'll tell him. Hey, that sounds great. Oh, baby, I knew you'd come through. Now, here's the point. Mary, you're in on this too. Now, listen. Have you got any money?
Money? Yeah, well, a little.
Well, now listen. I want you to put every cent you've got into our stock, you hear? And George, I may have a job for you. That is, unless you're still married to that broken down building and loan. This is the biggest thing since radio, and I'm letting you in on the ground floor. Oh, Mary.
I'm here.
Would you tell that guy I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime, you hear? The chance of a lifetime!
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Now you listen to me. I don't want any plastics. I don't want any ground floor, and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand? I want to do what I want to do, and you're Mary.
George?
Here they come! First Harry, now George. Annie, we're just two old maids now.
You speak for yourself, Mrs. B.
Oh, look at this champagne.
Good old Bert. By the way, where are you two going on this here honeymoon?
Where are we going? Look at this. There's the kitty, Ernie. Here, come on, count it, Mary.
I feel like a bootlegger's wife. Look!
You know what we're going to do? We're going to shoot the works. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda. The highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
That does it. Then what?
Then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
That does it. Come here.
Don't worry. But there's something funny going on here, over there at the bank. I've never really seen one, but it's got all the earmarks of their own.
Hey, Ernie, if you got any money in the bank, you better hurry.
George, let's not stop. Let's go.
Just a minute, dear. Oh.
Please, let's not stop, George.
I'll be back in a minute, Mary. Hello, everybody. Mrs. Thompson, how are you? Charlie, what's the matter here? Can't you get in? What is this, Uncle Billy? A holiday? Come on in, everybody. That's right. Just come in. Now, look, why don't you all sit down? There are lots of seats over there. Just make yourselves at home.
George, can I see you a minute?
Why didn't you just call me?
I just did, but they said you left. This is a pickle, George. This is a pickle.
All right, now what happened and how did it start?
How does anything like this ever start? All I know is that the bank called our loan.
When?
About an hour ago, I had to hand over all our cash.
All of it?
Every cent of it, and I still was less than what we owe.
Holy mackerel.
And then I got scared, George, and I closed the doors, and I...
The whole town's gone crazy.
Yes? Hello? George? It's Potter.
Hello?
George, there's a rumor going around town that you've closed your doors. Is that true? Oh, well, I'm very glad to hear that. George, are you all right? Do you need any police?
Police? What for?
Well, mobs can get pretty ugly sometimes, you know, George. I'm going all out to help in this crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank the sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close up for a week, then reopen.
He just took over the bank.
I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people too. Just tell them to bring their shares over here, and I will pay them 50 cents on the dollar.
You never miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, you're gonna miss this one.
If you close your doors before 6 p.m., you will never reopen.
Now, just remember that this thing isn't as black as it appears. I have some news for you folks. I've just talked to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments at the end at the bank. Bank's gonna reopen next week.
But George, I got my money here.
Did he guarantee this place?
Well, no, Charlie, I didn't even ask him. We don't need Potter over here.
I'll take mine now.
No, but you're thinking of this place all wrong. As if I had money back in a safe. The money's not here. Your money's in Joe's house, right next to yours. And in the Kennedy house, and Mr. Macklin's house, and 100 others. Why, you're lending them the money to build, and then they're going to pay it back to you best as they can. Now, what are you going to do, foreclose on them?
I got $242 in here, and $242 isn't going to break anybody.
Okay, Tom, all right, here you are. You sign this and you'll get your money in 60 days.
It's 60 days?
Well, now that's what you agreed to when you brought in your shares.
Tom, did you get your money? No. Well, I did. Old Man Potter will pay 50 cents on the dollar for every share you got.
50 cents on the dollar?
Yes, cash. Well, what did you say?
Now, Tom, you have to stick to your original agreement. Now give us 60 days on this.
Okay, Randall.
Are you going to go to Potter's?
Better to get half than nothing.
Tom, Randall, now listen to me. I beg of you, do not do this thing. If Potter gets a hold of this building alone, there'll never be another decent house built in this town. He's already got charge of the bank. He's got the bus line. He's got the department stores. Now he's after us. Why? Well, it's very simple. Because we're cutting in on his business, that's why. He wants to keep you living in his slums and paying the kind of rent he decides. Joe, you lived in one of his houses, didn't you? Well, have you forgotten? Have you forgotten what he charged you for that broken down shack? Here, Ed, you remember last year when things were going so well and you couldn't make your payments? You didn't lose your house, did you? Did you think Potter would let you keep it? Don't you understand what's happening here? Don't you see what's happening? Potter isn't selling, Potter's buying. And why? Because we're panicking, he's not. That's why he's picking up some bargains. Now, we can get through this thing, all right? We've got to stick together. Though we got to have faith in each other.
But my husband hasn't worked in over a year, and I need money.
How am I gonna live until the bank opens?
I got bills to pay. I need cash. Can't feed my kids on faith.
How much do you need?
Hey, I got $2,000. Here's $2,000. This will tide us over
Tom,
until the
how
bank
much do you
reopens.
need?
$240.
Aw, Tom, just enough to tide you over till the bank reopens.
I'll take $240.
There you are.
That'll close my account.
Your account's still here. That's a loan. Okay. All right, Ed.
I got $300 here, George.
All right, now, Ed, what'll it take till the bank reopens? What do you need?
Well, I suppose $20.
$20. Now you're talking. Fine. Thanks, Ed. All right, now, Mrs. Thompson, how much do you want?
But it's your own money, George.
Never mind about that. How much do you want?
I can get along with 20, all right?
All right, $20.
And I'll sign a paper.
You don't have to sign anything. I'll know you pay it back when you can. That's all right. All right, Miss Davis.
Could I have $17.50?
7. Bless your heart. Of course you can have it. You got 50 cents? 7.
We're going to make it, George. They'll never close us up today.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo! We made it. Look, we're still in business. We still got $2 left. Get some glasses, Cousin Tilly. We're a real couple of financial wizards.
Those Rockefellers.
Get a tray for those great big important simoleons.
We'll save them for the seed. A toast.
A toast to Papa Dollar and Mama Dollar. And if you want the old building alone to stay in business, you better have a family real quick. Okay, let's put them in the safe and see what happens.
Wedding cigars.
Oh, wedding. Holy mackerel, I'm married. Where's Mary? Mary, poor Mary. Look, I've got a train to catch. Well, the train's gone. I wonder if Ernie's still here with his taxi cab.
George, there's a call for you.
Look, will you get my wife on the phone? She's probably over at her mother's.
Mrs. Bailey is on the phone.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife, Mrs. Bailey. Oh, that's my wife. Here, I'll take it in here. Mary, hello, listen, dear, I'm sorry. What? Come home? What home? 2320 Sycamore. Well, what home? Whose home is that? The Waldorf Hotel, huh?
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
Well, I'll be. Mary, where did you...
Remember the night we broke the windows in this old house? This is what I wished for.
Darling, you're wonderful.
Buffalo cows, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight?
Hi.
Hi.
Mary Hatch, why in the world did you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid?
You could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anyone. I'm gonna try that again.
Come on. You go.
I didn't want to marry anybody else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon I promised you. Your what?
My baby.
You mean marry you on the nest?
George Bailey, Lasso's stork.
Lasso's a stork? You mean you... What is it, a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Now you've probably already guessed that George never leaves Bedford Falls.
No.
Mary had her baby, a boy. Then she had another one, a girl. Day after day, she worked away, remaking the old Granville house into a home. Night after night, George came back late from the office. Potter was bearing down hard. Then came a war. Ma Bailey and Mrs. Hatch joined the Red Cross and sewed. Mary had 2 more babies, but still found time to run the USO. Sam Wainwright made a fortune in plastic hoods for planes. Potter became a head of the draft board. Gower and Uncle Billy sold war bonds. Bert and the cop was wounded in North Africa, got the Silver Star. Ernie, the taxi driver, parachuted into France. Marty helped capture the Remagen Bridge. Harry Bailey topped them all. A Navy flyer, he shot down 15 planes. 2 of them as they were about to crash into a transport full of soldiers.
Yes, but George.
George, 4F, on account of his ear, George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls.
Now hold on now. Don't you know there's a war going on?
Air raid warded. Paper drives, scrap drives, rubber drives. Like everybody else on BE Day, he wept and prayed. On VJ Day, he wept and prayed again. And now to this morning, day before Christmas, about 10 a.m. of Bedford Falls time.
Extra, read all about it.
George, is Harry now on long distance from Washington?
Harry, what do you know about that?
He reversed the charges. It's okay, isn't it?
What do you mean it's okay? For a hero, Harry, oh, you 7 kinds of a son of a gun. Congratulations. How's Mother standing it? She did? What do you know? Mother had lunch with the president's wife.
Wait till Martha hears about this. What did they have to eat?
What did they have to eat? Harry, you should see what they're cooking up in the town for you. Oh, are they? The Navy's going to fly Mother home this afternoon.
In a plane?
What? Has Uncle Billy come in yet?
No, he stopped at the bank first.
He's not here right now, Harry, but look.
George.
Now tell me about it.
George, the man's here again.
What man?
Bank examiner.
Oh, talk to Eustace a minute, will you? I'll be right back. Good morning, sir.
Carter, bank examiner.
Mrs. Carter, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're all excited around here. My brother just got the Congressional Medal of Honor. The president just decorated him.
Well, I guess they do those things. Well, I trust you had a good year.
Good year. Well, between you and me, Mrs. Carter, we're broke.
Yeah, very funny.
Well, now come right in here, Mrs. Carter.
George, shall we hang up?
No. He wants to talk to Uncle Billy. You just hold on.
Now, if you'll cooperate, I'd like to finish with you by tonight. I want to spend Christmas in Elmira with my family.
I don't blame you at all, Mrs. Carter. Just step right in here. We'll fix you up.
December 24th, 8,000. I'll just put this envelope in the newspaper for safekeeping. Well, good morning, Mr. Potter. What's the news? Well. Harry Bailey wins congressional medal? That couldn't be one of the Bailey boys. You just can't keep those Bailey down. Now can you, Mr. Potter?
How does slacker George feel about that?
Very jealous. He only lost 3 buttons of his vest, of course. Slacker George would have gotten 2 of those medals if he had gone.
Bad ear.
Yes, after all, Potter, some people like George, had to stay home. Not very Heel was in Germany and Japan. You can keep that paper. Good morning, Horace.
I guess you forgot something.
Huh?
You forgot something?
What?
Well, aren't you going to make a deposit?
Sure I am.
Well, then it's usually customary to bring the money with you.
Oh, shucks. I know I had.
Bailey! Wow, what's this? $8,000! That fool must have left it in here!
Just make yourself at home, Mrs. Carter. I'll get those books for you. Uncle Billy, talk to Harry. He's on the telephone.
Hurry, Uncle Billy, hurry! Long distance, Washington. Hey, here's Harry on the phone. Harry, your nephew, remember? Here he is.
Hello? Yes? Harry? Yes? Everything's fine. I should have my head examined. $8,000. It's gotta be somewhere.
Mr. Bailey?
Oh, Mrs. Carter, I'm sorry. I'll be right with you. Where's Uncle Billy?
He's in his office.
Uncle, what's going on? The bank examiner's here and I...
He's here?
Yeah, she wants the accounts payable. What's the matter with you? Eustace?
Yeah?
Come here a minute. Did you see Uncle Billy with any cash last night?
He had it on his desk counting it before he closed up.
Now look, Uncle Billy, did you buy anything?
Nothing. Not even a stick of gum.
All right. We'll go over every step you took since you left the house.
This way.
Did you put the envelope in your pocket?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe? I don't want any maybe, Uncle Billy. We've got to find that money.
I'm no good to you, George.
Listen to me. Do you have any secret hiding place here in the house? Someplace you could have put it? Someplace to hide the money?
I've been over the whole house, even in the rooms that have been locked ever since I lost Larv.
Listen to me. Think.
I can't think anymore, George. I can't think anymore. It hurts.
Where's that money, you stupid, silly old fool? Where's the money? Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. That's what it means. One of us is going to jail. Well, it's not going to be me.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Daddy. Did you bring the Christmas wreath?
What wreath?
The Merry Christmas wreath for the window.
No, I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
Left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry? We're famous, George. I'll bet I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother's so excited
She keep playing that.
I have to practice for the party tonight, Daddy. Mommy says that we can stay up till midnight and sing Christmas carols. Can you sing, Daddy?
Better hurry and shave. The families will be here soon.
Families? I don't want the families over here.
Excuse me.
Have a hectic day?
Oh yeah, another big red letter day for the Baileys.
Daddy, the Browns next door have a new car. You should see it.
What? What's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy. Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
I burped.
All right, darling, you're excused. Now go upstairs and see what little Zuzu wants.
Zuzu? What's the matter with Zuzu?
Oh, she's got a cold. She's in bed. Caught it from coming home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
What is it, a sore throat or what?
Just a cold. The doctor says it's nothing serious.
The doctor? Was the doctor here?
Yes, I called him right away. He says it's nothing to worry about.
Is she running a temperature? What is it?
Just a teensy one, 99.6. She'll be all right.
Gosh, it's this old house. I don't know why we don't all have pneumonia. This drafty old barn. Might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong? Everything's wrong. You call us a happy family. Why do we have all these kids?
Dad, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Going up to see Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
Wait, now where do you think you're going?
Want to give my flower a drink?
All right. Here, give Daddy the flower. I'll give it a drink.
Look, Daddy, petals fell off. Paste them back on.
Yeah, all right. Now I'll paste this together. There it is, good as new.
Give the flower a drink.
Now, will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try to get some sleep?
I'm not sleepy. I want to look at my flower.
I know, but just go to sleep, and then you can dream about it, and it'll be a whole garden.
It will?
Uh-huh.
Telephone. I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. Oh, I'm sure she'll be all right. The doctor says she ought to be out of bed in time to have her Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes?
Let me speak to her. Hello? Hello, Mrs. Welch? This is George Bailey. I'm Zuzu's father. Say, what kind of teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending her home like that half naked? Do you realize she'll probably end up with pneumonia on account of you?
George!
This is the sort of thing we pay taxes for, to have teachers like you, silly, stupid, careless people who send our kids home without any clothes on. You know, maybe my kids aren't the best well-dressed kids. Maybe they don't have any decent clothes. Oh, that's stupid.
Hello, Mrs. Welch? I want to apologize. Hello? Hello? She's hung up.
I'll hang her up. Wait a minute. Hello? Who is this? Okay, that's fine, Mr. Welch. Gives me a chance to tell you what I really think of your wife.
George?
Will you get out and let me handle this? Huh? Hello? Oh, you will, huh? Okay, Mr. Welch. Anytime you think you're a man enough. Hello, Eddie?
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
How should I know? What do you think I am, a dictionary? Tommy, stop that. Stop it. Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You've played it over and over again. Now stop it. I'm sorry, Mary, Janie. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... You go on and practice, Pete. I owe you an apology, too. I'm sorry. What did you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
What's the matter with everybody? Janie, go on. I told you to practice. Now go on, play.
Oh, Daddy.
George, why must you torture the children? Why don't you...
Mary.
Bedford, 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble? Should I pray for him?
Yes, Janie, pray very hard.
Me too.
You too, Tommy. Hello, Uncle Billy?
I'm in trouble, Mr. Potter. I need help. There's some sort of accident. My company's short on their accounts. The bank examiner's up there today. I've got to raise $8,000 immediately.
Oh, so that's what the reporters wanted to talk to you about.
The reporters?
Oh, yes. They called me up from your banking and law. Oh, there's a man over there from the DA's office, too. He's looking for you.
Please help me, Mr. Potter, won't you please? Can't you see it means to my family? I'll pay any sort of bonus on the loan, any interest. If you still want the building loan, why
George, could it possibly be there's a slight discrepancy in the books?
No, sir. There's nothing wrong with the books. I've just misplaced $8,000. I can't find it anywhere.
You misplaced $8,000?
Yes, sir.
Have you notified the police?
No, sir. I didn't want the publicity. Harry's homecoming tomorrow.
Oh, they're gonna believe that one. What have you been doing, George? Playing the market with the company's money?
No, sir. No, sir. I haven't.
Not that it makes any difference to me, but why don't you come to me? Why don't you go over to Sam Wainwright and ask him for the money?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
Well, what about your other friends?
They don't have that kind of money, Mr. Potter. You know that. You're the only one in town that can help me.
I see. I've suddenly come quite important. What kind of security would I have, George? Have you got any stocks?
No, sir.
Bonds, real estate, collateral of any kind?
I have some life insurance, $15,000 policy.
Yes. How much is your equity in them?
$5,000. Or $500.
Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you but a warped, a miserable little clerk crawling in here on your own hands and knees and begging for help? No securities, no stocks, no bonds, nothing but a miserable little $500 equity in life and policy insurance. You're worth more dead than alive. Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so much and ask them to let you have $8,000? You know why? Because they run you out of town on a rail. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, George. Since the state examiner is still here, as a stockholder of the building and loan, I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriations of funds, manipulation, maleficence. All right, George, go ahead. You can't hide in a little town like this. Bill, this is power.
God, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man. But if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of the rope. Show me the way, God.
You all right, George? Want someone to take you home?
Why you drink so much, my friend? Please go home, Mr. Bailey. This is Christmas Eve.
Bailey? Which Bailey?
This is Mr. George Bailey.
And the next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. She cried for an hour. It isn't enough she slaves teaching your stupid kids how to read and write, and you have to bawl her out.
You get out of here, Mr. Welch. You hit my best friend. Get out.
You all right, George?
Who was that?
He's gone. Don't worry. His name is Welch. He don't come back to my place no more.
Oh, Welch. Well, that's what I get for praying.
Last time he come in here, you hear that, Nick?
Yes, you bet.
Oh, no, please, don't go out this way, Mr. Bailey.
I'm all right.
Oh, no, you don't feel so good.
I'm all right.
Don't go away, please.
What do you think you're doing? Now look at what you did. My great-grandfather planted this tree.
Hey, what's the matter with you? Look, where are you going?
I'm worth more dead than alive. I should just end it all here.
Help! Help!
I'm coming!
Help! Help!
I got you. There you go. Pull yourself up on the shore.
You two down there. Come inside and dry off.
I didn't have time to get some stylish underwear. I passed away in it.
Huh?
Oh, Tom Sawyer's drawing out too. You should read the new book Mark Twain's writing now.
Well, how do you happen to fall in?
I didn't fall in. I jumped in to save George.
You what? To save me?
Well, I did, didn't I? You didn't go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
It's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Yeah, it's against the law where I come from too.
Where'd you come from?
Heaven. I had to act quickly, that's why I jumped in. I knew if I were drowning, you'd try to save me. And you see, you did, and that's how I saved you.
Very funny.
Your lip is bleeding, George.
Yeah, I got a punch in the jaw to answer a prayer a little bit ago.
Oh, no. I'm the answer to your prayer. That's why I was sent down here.
How do you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you. I've watched you grow up from a little boy.
What are you, a mind reader or something?
Oh, no.
Well, what are you?
Clarissa Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody, AS2? What's that, AS2?
Angel, second class. Cheerio, my good man.
Oh, brother. I wonder what Martini put in those drinks. Hey, what's with you? What did you just say a minute ago? Why'd you want to save me?
That's what I was sent down for. I'm your guardian angel.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Ridiculous of you to think of killing yourself for money. $8,000.
Yeah, just things like that. How'd you know that?
I told you, I'm your guardian angel. I know everything about you.
Well, you look like an angel. I get it. Some sort of foreign angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
I don't know whether I like it very much being seen around with an angel without any wings.
Oh, I've got to earn them, and you'll help me, won't you?
Sure. How?
By letting me help you.
Only one way you can help me. You don't happen to have $8,000 on you.
No. We don't use any money in heaven.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. It comes in handy down here, bub.
Oh,
Yeah, I found it out a little late. I'm worth more dead than alive.
Now look, you mustn't talk like that. I won't get my wings with that attitude. You just don't know all that you've done. If it hadn't been for you...
Yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody'd be a lot better off. My wife and my kids and my friends. Look, little fellow, go off and haunt somebody else, will ya?
No, you don't understand. I've got my job.
Ah, shut up, will ya?
This is not going to be so easy. So, you think killing yourself will make everyone feel happier?
Oh, I don't know. I guess you're right. I suppose it would have been better if I'd never been born at all.
What did you say?
I wish I'd never been born.
Oh, you mustn't say things like that. Wait a minute. That's an idea. What do you think? Yeah, that'll do. All right, you've got your wish. You've never been born. You don't want to make all that fuss about it.
What did you say?
You've never been born. You don't exist. You haven't a care in the world. No worries, no obligations, no $8,000 to get, no Potter looking for you with the sheriff.
Say something else in my bad ear.
Sure, you can hear out of it.
Well, that's the doggonest thing. I haven't heard out of that ear since I was a kid. Must have been that jump in the cold water.
Your lip stopped bleeding too, George.
What do you know about that? What's happened? It's stopped snowing out, hasn't it? What's happened here? Come on, as soon as these clothes of ours are dry.
Our clothes are dry.
What do you... Stove's hotter than I thought. No, come on, get your clothes on and we'll stroll up to my car and get... Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stroll, you fly.
I can't fly. I haven't got any wings.
Oh, yeah, you haven't got your wings yet. That's right.
What's the matter?
Well, this is where I left my car and it isn't here.
You have no car.
Well, I had a car and it was right here. I guess somebody moved it.
Good evening.
Oh, say, hey, where's my car?
I beg your pardon?
My car? I'm the fellow that owns the car that ran into your tree.
What tree?
What do you mean? What tree? This tree here. I ran into it. Cut a big gash in the side of it here.
You must mean two other trees. You had me worried. I had one of the oldest trees in Pottersville.
Pottersville? Why do you mean Bedford Falls?
I mean Pottersville. Don't you think I know where I live? What's the matter with you?
Oh, I don't know. Either I'm off my nut or he is. Or you are.
It isn't me.
Well, maybe I left my car up at Martini's. Come on, Gabriel.
Clarence.
Clarissa. That's all right. Go on in. Martini's a good friend of mine. Here's a place to sit down. Oh, hello, Nick. Hey, where's Martini?
You want a martini?
No, Martini, your boss. Where is he?
Look, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
Okay, all right. Double bourbon, quick, huh?
Okay. What's yours?
I was just thinking. It's been so long since I...
Look, ma'am, I'm standing here waiting for you to make up your mind.
That's a good man. I was just thinking of a flaming rum punch. No, it's not cold enough for that. Not nearly cold enough. Wait a minute. Oh, I got it. Mulled wine, heavy on the cinnamon, and light on the cloves. Off with you, lad, and be lively.
Hey, look, sister, we serve hard drinks in here for people who want to get drunk fast, and we don't need any characters around to give the joint atmosphere. Is that clear? Or do I have to slip you my left for a convincer?
What's he talking about?
Nick, just give her the same as mine. She's okay.
Okay.
What's the matter with him? I never saw Nick act like that before.
You'll see a lot of strange things from now on.
Oh, hey, little fellow, you worry me. You got some place to sleep?
No.
You don't, huh? Well, we got any money?
No.
No wonder you jumped in the river.
I jumped in the river to save you so I could get my wings. Uh-oh. Somebody's just made it.
Made what?
Every time you hear a bell ring, it means that some angel's got his wings.
Look, I think maybe you better not mention you getting your wings around here.
Why? Don't they believe in angels?
Yeah. But you know...
Then why should they be surprised when they see one?
He never grew up. He's... How old are you anyway, Clarissa?
293. Next May.
That does it. Out you two pixies go. Through the door or out the window.
Look, Nick, what's wrong?
And that's another thing. Where do you come off calling me Nick? And I don't know you from Adam. Hey, you rummy, come here. Didn't I tell you never to come panhandling around here? Throw him out.
Hey, Nick, isn't that Mr. Goer, the druggist?
That's another reason for me not to like you That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning a kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Will you show these gentlemen to the door?
Sure, right this way, you two.
Hey, get me, I'm giving out wings.
You see, George, you were not there to stop Goer from putting that poison into the...
What do you mean I wasn't there? I remember distinctly. Hey, Nick's place? What's going on around here? Why, this ought to be Martini's place. Look, who are you?
I told you, George, I'm your guardian angel.
Yeah, I know you told me that, but what else are you? Are you a hypnotist?
No, of course not.
Well, then why am I seeing all these strange things?
Don't you understand, George? It's because you were not born.
Then if I wasn't born, who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name's George Bailey.
There is no George Bailey. You have no papers, no cards, no driver's license, no 4F card, no insurance policy.
What?
They're not there either. Zuzu's petals, you've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see the world. What the world would be like without you.
Now, wait a minute here. As long as this is some sort of funny dream I'm having here, so long, Clarissa. I'm going home.
Home? What home?
Now shut up, cut it out. You're crazy. That's what I think. You're screwy and you're driving me crazy too. I'm seeing things. I'm going home to see my wife and family. You understand that? I am going home.
How am I doing, Joseph? Thanks.
Hey, where did the building and loan move to?
The building and what?
The Bailey building and loan. It's up there.
They went out of business years ago.
Ernie, take me home. I'm off my nut.
Where do you live?
Oh, no, don't cut it. Ernie, don't you start pulling that stuff. You know where I live. 320 Sycamore. Now hurry up.
320 Sycamore?
Yeah, hurry up. Zuzu's sick.
All right.
Look here, Ernie, straighten me out here. I've got some bad liquor or something. Listen to me now. You are Ernie Bishop, and you live in Bailey Park with your wife and kid. That's right, isn't it?
You seen my wife?
Seen your wife? I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Potter's Field, and my wife ran away 3 years ago and took the kid. And I ain't never seen you in my life.
Okay, just step on it and get me home.
Is this the place?
Of course it's the place.
Well, this house ain't been lived in for like 20 years.
What's up, Ernie?
I don't know, but we better keep an eye on this guy. He's bats.
Mary, Tommy, Pete, Jamie, Zuzu, where are you?
They're not here, George. You have no children.
Where are you? What have you done with them?
All right, put your hands up. All right, put your hands. All right, put your hands up. No fast moves. Come on out here, both of you.
Bert, thank heaven you're here.
Stand back.
Bert, what's happened to this house? Where's Mary? Where's my kids?
Watch him, Bert.
Come on.
Bert, Ernie, what's the matter with you two guys? You were here on my wedding night. You both stood here on the porch and sung to us, don't you remember?
I think I'd better be going.
Look, now why don't you be a good kid and we'll take you into a doctor. Everything's going to be all right.
Bert, now listen to me. Ernie, will you take me over to my mother's house? Bert, listen, it's that fellow there. She says she's an angel. She's trying to hypnotize us.
I hate to do this, fella.
Run, George, run! Help! Joseph, help!
Oh, shut up.
Help! Oh, Joseph, help, Joseph!
Where'd he go? I had him right here.
Well,
Mother?
Mother, what do you want?
Mother, this is George. I'm not sure you'd remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
Oh, Mother, please help me. Something terrible's happened to me. I don't know what it is. Something's happened to everybody. Please let me come in and hear more until I get over it.
Get over what? I don't take strangers unless they're sent here by somebody I know.
Well, I know everybody you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him?
Well, sure I do.
When did you see him last?
Today, over at the house.
That's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong.
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. And when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he?
I've heard of things like this. You've got me in some kind of spell or something. Well, I know I'm going to get out of it, and I know it. I know, too. I was the last man I talked to before all this stuff happened to me was Martini.
You know where he lives?
Sure, I know where he lives. He lives in Bailey Park.
Are you sure this is Bailey Park?
I'm not sure of anything anymore. All I know is this should be Bailey Park, but where are the houses? It's just a cemetery.
You weren't here to build them. Your brother, Harry Bailey, broke through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save him because you weren't there to save Henry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
Clarissa,
Yes, George?
where's Mary?
Oh, I can.
I don't know how you know these things, but tell me, where is she? If you know where she is, tell me where my wife is.
I'm not supposed to tell.
Please, Clarissa, tell me where she is. Clarissa, tell me where she is.
You're not gonna like it, George.
Where is she?
She's an old maid. She never married.
Where is Mary? Where is she?
She's...
Where is she?
She's just about to close up the library. There must be some easier way for me to get my wings.
Mary, it's George. Don't you know me? What happened to us?
I don't know you. Let me go.
Mary, please, don't do this to me. Please, Mary, help me. Where's our kids? I need you, Mary. Help me, Mary.
Somebody call the police.
Hit him with a bottle.
He needs a straitjacket.
That man, stop him.
Tom, hey, Charlie, that's my wife, Mary.
Oh, no you don't.
Mary, Clarissa, where are you?
Oh, it's you? Stand back.
Clarissa, help me, Clarissa. Get me back. I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and kids. Help me, Clarissa, please. I want to live again. Please, God, let me live again.
Hey, George, you all right? Hey, what's the matter?
Now get out of here, Bert, or I'll hit you again. Get out.
What the Sam Hill you yelling for, George?
Don't. George? Bert, do you know me?
Know you? Are you kidding? I've been looking all over town trying to find you. I saw your car piled into that tree down there. Hey, your mouth is bleeding. Are you sure you're all right?
What? My mouth's bleeding, Bert. My mouth's bleeding. Zuzu's pedals. Zuzu's, they're here. Bert, what do you know about that? Merry Christmas. Hello, broken down old car. Hello, Bedford Falls. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, movie house. Merry Christmas, Emporium. Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan. Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter.
And Happy New Year to you in jail. Go on home. They're waiting for you.
Mary? Well, hello, Mrs. Bank Examiner.
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
I know, $8,000.
George, I've got a little paper here.
I'll bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it wonderful? Merry Christmas. Reporters, where's Mary? Mary? Oh, look at this wonderful old drafty house. Mary, have you seen my wife?
Merry Christmas, Daddy.
Kids, Pete, Janie, Tommy, I could eat you up. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you with Uncle Billy. Daddy!
Zuzu, my little ginger snap, how do you feel?
Fine. And not a smidge of temperature, not a snitch.
Hallelujah. Hello.
George, darling.
Mary.
George, darling, where have you been? Oh, George.
Mary, let me touch you. You're real.
Oh, George.
You have no idea what's happened to me.
You have no idea what happened. Well, come on, George. Come on downstairs quick. They're on their way.
All right.
Come on in here now. Now you stand right over here by the tree. Right there, and don't move. I hear him now, George. It's a miracle. Come in, Uncle Billy. Everybody, in here.
Isn't it wonderful? Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told a few people you were in trouble, and they scattered all over town collecting money. They didn't ask many questions, just said, if George is in trouble, count on me. You never saw anything like it.
What is this, George? Another run on the bank? Here you are, George. Merry Christmas. Ernie's trying to get some system into the chaos.
The line forms on the right. Mr. Martini, Merry Christmas. Step up right here.
I busted the jukebox, too.
Mr. Gower.
I made the rounds of my charge accounts.
I've been saving for the divorce if I ever get a husband.
There you are, George. I got the faculty all up out of bed. And here's a watch for Zuzu to play with.
And I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George.
Just a minute. Quiet. Everyone, quiet. Now, this is from London. Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas. Sam Wainwright.
Yay!
Great. Mr. Martini, how about some wine?
Hello, George. How are you?
Harry.
Mary, looks like I got here too late.
How about your banquet in New York?
Oh, I left right in the middle of it as soon as I got Mary's telegram. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
What's this? A copy of Tom Sawyer. It says, Dear George, remember no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarissa.
That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Atta girl, Clarice.